I'll read you some of that banter.
That is, you know what? That's great. It's going to be great. Okay, cool. So, I'm just going to go for it then.
Great.
All right now. Hey y'all, it's Trey. Good to see you again. And I am joined today by my friend and coworker, Katie.
Hi.
Say hi. The reason Katie is joining me today is because I am a baby Selena fan, and Katie is a seasoned Selena fan. You want to show it? Let's show them our shirts. Yes. Okay. So she's got this incredible piece of work. Is there anything on the back? Or is it
No,
just
it's just this. It says
Cool.
Queen of Cumbia.
Queen of Cumbia. Oh, that's nice.
Oh, I know.
Wow. I have this one. It's just got her name, and then on the back,
That's so great.
this really cool photo of her. I saw it, and I had to have it. So how did we get here?
How did we get here, Trey?
How did we get here? Several people requested that I react to Selena, and this kind of moved to the top of my list because I've lived in Texas for almost 15 years now. She's a huge part of Texas music, Texas culture. I really started to look into her and kind of go, it's a disservice that I don't know this woman's music as much as I should. So yeah, and then I think I brought it up just casually one time at work, and Katie was like,
We have to.
So you talk a little bit about, you know, how long you've been listening to Selena, what you love about Selena.
Yeah, I am a native Texan, so I've lived here all of my life. So obviously, if you're from here, you know who Selena is, even if you've never listened to her music, because she's part of the fabric of the culture here. She died when I was very young. That was 95, so I was 7 that year when she died, and so didn't have a whole lot of an idea of what was going on and all of that.
You had more of an idea than I did, though.
Right. Well,
I wasn't even
not
conceived.
born. So my first introduction to Selena was Dreaming of You when that came out after her death, and I think that was a lot of our first introductions to Selena, those of us that are my age and younger. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, I listened to her growing up a little bit, her English stuff, and really it's been as an adult that I've really grown to appreciate her Spanish language music and how beautiful that language is and the way that she sings in it and her expression of who she is and who she was as a person. It doesn't matter if you speak Spanish or not. She did so much for that community, and you can experience something magical when you listen to her because she connects with her audience regardless of language. Mm-hmm. And I think that's really exciting.
Yeah, I definitely, I think I've seen a lot of that in the research that I have done. I did not really anticipate how much research I was going to do on Selena until it just kind of started happening. I had already planned a trip to Corpus Christi with a friend for vacation in July, and Katie goes, "You're going to Corpus Christi? Are you going to the Selena Museum?" I said, "There's a Selena Museum?" So that's like where I got this shirt, and then I have some other merch that I got, but I made Katie very jealous, taking all the pictures in the Selena Museum.
He sent me all the pictures though, so I got 60 photos of everything that was in the museum, so I felt like I was there.
Yeah, the Grammys, the outfits, and everything. Oh, and another thing I did this week was I just watched the Selena movie with Jennifer Lopez. Had heard about that all my life, but had never actually seen it. A lot of people were introduced to J-Lo by the Selena movie.
And introduced to Selena by the Selena movie.
Right.
I would say that was probably, I saw that as a kid.
Yeah.
So that was probably more of an introduction to her even than hearing her on the radio.
Whereas I think I was introduced to J-Lo at about the same time that I was introduced to Pitbull. I loved the movie. It felt very much like this is the blueprint for biopics about musicians ever since. And I haven't seen a biopic before 97, but they all give kind of that same energy. Like they're trying to do what Selena did.
I would tend to agree with that. I also think it's a crime that Jennifer Lopez doesn't have an Oscar for it. So, because I think her performance is incredible. And especially watching Selena perform and watching videos of her in interviews. Jennifer Lopez, I thought, did such an excellent job embodying her and getting all of those little things, the essences of Selena that made her Selena. I think she did a really great job of that. So 90s kids are really, we really love the movie Selena. So.
I can't really think of a smooth transition.
Woo!
Today, we're watching the last Selena concert. This is her performance at the Rodeo, the Astrodome?
The Houston Astrodome in 1995.
How do we preface this?
I would say this is iconic.
Pause. I am so sorry, but I would just like to take this moment to apologize for me and Katie's egregious use of the word iconic, and to make this a little bit less agonizing, because we do use it quite a bit in this video, we're going to play a little game, and I'm going to put a little counter in the corner so we can all keep track of how much me and Katie like to use the word iconic, just to make it a little bit more bearable.
It's an iconic concert in the history of Texas, in the history of Selena, and it's heavily featured in the Selena movie as the opener and then throughout. And also probably her most iconic outfit or costume is from this concert.
We'll talk about the outfit in a little bit because I've started connecting dots as I've seen more and more Selena stuff, so we'll talk about that in a little bit. I'm excited. This is going to be great. I can't wait to do this, so we're just not going to take up any more time. And without further ado, let's dive right into this reaction.
There we go.
There we go. All right. It's beautiful. Purple and white.
She's perfect.
Go Wildcats.
Yes.
I can't believe I did that.
This carriage that she's in is so gorgeous.
Yeah.
People are so excited. This concert broke records at the Astrodome for
as far as attendance?
Yes.
Wow.
And when you see the crowd, you can tell how many people are there. A regal queen.
It's like a Cinderella moment.
Really,
almost,
truly,
you know?
yeah.
She's arrived at the ball.
And we are all just happy to be here.
Yes. We're doing great! We're doing so great!
Look at all those people.
Wow.
Lips on point, always.
She looks and sounds amazing.
Always. Bang's incredible. The rotating stage that they do at the rodeo performances so that everybody in the arena can see, so it rotates really slowly. Her backup singers are always on point.
Yeah, I love them.
I just love that all of the dancing that she does on stage feels so spontaneous. None of it feels rehearsed. It's just kind of how she goes with the music. It's insane to me. She's 23 here.
I'm 23. What am I doing with my life? Woo!
Yes.
Oh. A little bit of Michael Jackson in there too.
I think watching stuff like this, it makes me even sadder that she didn't become more of a global star because of her death.
Right.
Because she had it.
She would have done this on an even bigger stage. Yeah.
We Soft on a Summer.
The waist is just cinched.
Oh,
Every
yeah.
time we see her in profile, that's all I can see.
It's like perfect.
It's like, the way she's having to connect with people who are hundreds of feet away from her.
And
there.
is somehow doing it.
Yes!
You know?
Yeah.
Like, you can't, and even here, you can tell that she can't see a single person.
Right.
There's no way. Because of these lights, because the stage is so far away. I mean, really just traversing the entire stage.
Yes.
Just, like, knows exactly how to play to a large audience. Like, would have loved a Selena disco album.
This is so cute! And it really does feel spontaneous. Like,
does.
this is just stuff that you could do at a party.
Like, she's with her background singers. They're watching each other. They're paying attention to what's going on stage. The band is paying attention to her. I mean, it's really just this. Oh yes. It's really just this perfect synchronization of. This is my favorite song in the disco medley.
Is her husband on that stage?
He is. Where is he? He's playing guitar somewhere.
Is that him in the back?
Yeah, that's him right there.
Okay, there's her husband.
There's Chris. Hey, Chris. Look at those curls.
Yeah.
She has a Band-Aid on her finger, and I have always thought that was hilarious. Every time I watch it, I've watched it several times, and every time I think it's so funny. This one right here.
Yeah, I see it now. Oh yeah, she'll point out her finger, and it's like, that's a Band-Aid.
She's got these like gorgeous nails, like
Right.
And you got to see her microphone, right?
Yes.
I don't know if that's it, but like you got to see the microphone with the lipstick on it.
Right. Okay, pause it. Oh, we have so much to talk about. So yes, I saw the microphone in the studio that had her lipstick on it from when they were recording. So I didn't see like that exact microphone. I think
It may be the same one. I couldn't tell you. I mean, I don't know.
Wow. All right. So the movie also just opened up a lot of lore, I think, for me about her that I had not heard before. I didn't know she was married. So I was very excited to see her husband, you know, on the stage as well.
Yeah, so she was married.
She was married.
Famously eloped.
Yes. And the marriage was announced on the radio.
Yeah.
On the radio. This outfit. Okay, so I want to talk about this because you mentioned it is absolutely iconic. It's so iconic that it's one of those things where I think I saw other people who were inspired by it before I saw the inspiration, right?
Yes. Yeah.
There was a drag show here in town actually in June, and they did disco. That was the theme. And one of the queens came out in that outfit.
Yeah.
I don't remember if she started with the jacket or not, but definitely after the jacket comes off, that was the outfit. The flared legs at the bottom and everything. So it's everywhere.
Yes.
And I only recently started to notice that it is everywhere. But she is the blueprint for that. The other thing I'm thinking watching this, a lot of what I have reacted to on this channel has been more modern stuff that has been from this century. And I'm noticing watching this live vocals. Totally live vocals.
Very much so live vocals.
Hardly, if at all, hear a background track or background singers. Her voice is at the front. There's no doubt that those vocals are live. What you had to do in the 90s as a performer, as a woman on your own, not part of a girl group or a boy band or anything, just like it was Selena Y Los Dinos before, and then just Selena. Singing by herself, and then having to connect with these people that she cannot see.
Yeah.
It almost took a different kind of skills. It did. It took a different kind of skill set back then to be a really successful entertainer. And she's bilingual on top, and it's just, it's really, really impressive. I'm loving this, and I love disco.
For those of you who don't have experience with the rodeo in Houston, Trey and I have both lived in Houston at various points in our lives, and so the rodeo is in itself iconic. It's people come from all over to come to it. There's amazing food. The rodeo events are top notch, and they always get these incredible performers. And they always, I don't know if they still do it, but back in the 90s they had Tejano night, so they always had some Tejano performer from that industry on to perform one of the nights of the rodeo. So this is a Tejano night. That's what they brought her in for, and they brought her in for this multiple times.
The Astrodome it's not there anymore.
Correct.
Now where do they have them perform?
It's at Reliant Stadium.
Reliant? Okay.
Yeah. The floor is set up for the rodeo. It's dirt. So the stage comes out onto that area because the rodeo itself is the focus. And so
it's delightful. The whole setup, I'm imagining like it's like she's at the center of the galaxy. You know, like the whole thing is a Milky Way, and she's like the bright thing in the middle. That's what the colors are giving me, and the design of everything. Plus, she's glittering like a bunch of stars.
She has this. Her voice is so beautiful and so strong, and it has this amazing rasp to it that like cuts through all of that.
Right.
And I think that's what's so brilliant about this concert, and why it's so iconic, and the fact that we have a filmed version of the entire thing is really special. I think.
There's a little sip of coffee right here. Yeah. I say let's keep going. Right? Yeah.
Let's do it. This is one of my favorite Selena songs.
Okay, and now the top comes unbuttoned.
Yes, awesome. Look at that. And she's just like doing
and she's doing the washing machine while she's doing it. Okay, she knows the words.
I know the words, I do not know what all of them mean.
Wait, okay, I see that's all lipstick on her mic.
Oh yeah.
Right there? That's a lot of lipstick. The way you can still hear her when the mic is not closed, and then it's just
this thing she does with her hands is always so beautiful. I can't get my hands to do that, so I don't know, like all of her gestures, like.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. Hold on, those background singers are really cute.
Transition.
Hey, baila esta cumbia?
Yeah. Also one of my favorite. I love them all. This entire set is.
Right now, like everything she has is a hit, basically.
This is such a bop.
Her feet are always moving, never still on stage.
I mean,
I love this.
Can you imagine? Like, I would be dead at the end of that concert. She's just like, and she's just doing it all so effortlessly. Yes, hands, yes.
Hey, hey, hey! Okay, solo time! Yeah! Oh my god! On this channel, we celebrate hips that don't lie. I also love the live version of this song.
Yes.
I think I've only ever heard the radio version.
It's great. Yes. Yes, girl, take a breath.
Yes. Okay, you can pause it.
My thoughts are what a queen.
What a queen.
They
Indeed.
always are.
Yes.
That's always my thought.
I'm still stuck on the lipstick.
Oh yeah.
I didn't notice that before. Now I see why what was in the studio was such a big deal.
Right.
Because it is a faint smudge. Like there's dust on it that they brush off every now and then, but what is left is still so faint. But now I see what an iconic thing that is.
Yeah.
Puts things into perspective.
You probably know this, but MAC, the makeup company, released a line of Selena cosmetics a few years back. They've done a couple of them, and one of the big things was lipstick. They had, a few different shades. One that was like this kind of color red and some different things, and those sold out in seconds. It's one of those they were overwhelmed with online sales, with all these things, people kind of busting down the doors to get this makeup, because that's part of her.
Okay.
That's part of her legacy, in a weird way, but something that's so iconic about her.
It makes me think of Rita Moreno on One Day at a Time.
Yes.
She has her lipstick specific shade. Oh, also, you want to see my Amor Prohibido? Do you want to see my Amor Prohibido crop top? That's a mouthful.
Yes.
Okay, I got it at the store. Let me pull it out.
Oh. I love this. Oh, she is cute.
It's so cute. And I saw a crop top in the store and I said I must have it.
It's so cute.
Yeah, it's adorable. Definitely wore this to the gym.
Yes. I love that for you.
No regrets.
But the story is that it's somewhat based on her grandparents. That the song is somewhat based on her grandparents' story of that one of them came from money and one of them did not, and there was. So I don't know how true that is. I might just be repeating something that is incorrect. But,
interesting. Well, that definitely they did not. I don't think they. In the movie, her grandparents never showed up.
I don't think they address it in the movie. They talk about it in the series, and I don't know.
I know people have a lot of mixed feelings about the series. People clearly like the movie more than the series. But I'm sure the series covers more material.
It does, and it's fun to get to dive into some more of those stories.
Yeah, I've seen the scene where her and Beyonce cross paths in a mall. I've seen that.
And that's real.
Yeah.
That happened.
There's so much lore. I love it. And it was like, it's really one of those like stars that burned so bright.
Really,
for
truly.
such a short time. Okay, let's keep going. Let's keep going.
Muchas gracias. Mis destrezas son lo que mi corazón está matando. Y tus desaires.
There's also a beautiful version of this song that is, if I'm not mistaken, produced from the original master of this song that turns it into a ballad. And it's really beautiful. And that was done after her death.
No merezco eso y si me sacas vueltas, no te imaginas cuánto me duele quererte tanto y tú ya no me quieres. ¡Que suena grito!
It's so fun to watch her. She's so at home, honestly. I mean, she's performing from the time she was a little kid. And that sounds weird to say about performers. It's like, well, you expect them to be at home on stage. But there are some that don't. She can just stand there and take it all in, and it's home.
Do you know what those desprecios mean?
I do not.
Me neither.
I can look it up.
Cool, yes.
I can pick out a lot of the. I think you're probably the same. Is that like
cuánto me duele? Yes, I know that.
Your scorn. It could mean your scorn.
Okay.
There are many different translations.
Yeah.
And also sometimes it's not going to translate perfectly into English because it was not written to be in English. So
Right. It's giving me very much, these are the ways that you hurt me or like get under my
Uh-huh.
skin, but we still love each other kind of vibes, right? Like, this is the not so pretty side of our
Yeah.
love, I guess. Oh, look at Chris with his curls in the base. Wow.
I always think of Jennifer Lopez in the movie, like, Chris!
Oh,
It's
wow.
always like this, like a little Texan accent. In there. It's really fun. Chris.
Okay, now watching the movie, I felt like I heard J-Lo's Bronx accent come through a few times.
I think it does come through a few times. I do think that she did a pretty good Texan accent from that area of Texas.
Okay.
Like somebody who has maybe not necessarily grown up speaking Spanish, but has grown up with
Gotcha.
people who speak Spanish, and so there's some of that pronunciation in there. It
Oh,
does
yeah.
sound, there are parts of it that sound very Texan to me.
Okay.
And that do sound quite a bit like
Okay.
Selena, but you do hear the Bronx coming
Just
every
a
once in a
few
while.
times.
She is still Jenny from the block. Today,
Absolutely. So I think it was really funny that you talked about like how at home she feels on stage, or how at
Yeah.
home she looks, and how that was like a part of her growing up. I think for the first half of the movie, I didn't like her dad. Or her dad was walking a line that I was like, listen, if they were not handling this and making it very clear that Selena enjoyed singing, this is almost abusive.
This is a very common opinion.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Okay, I'm glad that I wasn't the only person who felt that way.
I'm like, listen, I mean, I wasn't there. I don't know. I think the hard thing is that we only, for the most part, get the family's side of the story.
Right.
Because they were the ones who spent the most time with her. Because her whole life, it seems to us, was touring, doing all of these things to promote her music. And so the family was who knew her the most. And whether it's intentional or not, there is always stuff that gets lost in that.
Yeah.
And so I do think we often get a very sanitized version
Right.
of that. And so it may have been fraught. I mean, it certainly seems like it probably was. I have always wondered how bad
Yeah.
that actually got.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because and I don't know that we're ever gonna know that, so.
But all of that to say, it resulted in her
Yeah.
looking as comfortable as she does.
I mean, true,
on
exactly.
stage. An incredible entertainer.
Yes.
Que no pensarías más será que ya volveré.
The song is called Cobarde, and I believe that means coward.
Ooh.
Sentir es un inmenso amor que me has olvidado y no vas a volver. Tu marido.
Yes, oh, coward. I mean, look at that face. I mean, like,
Yeah.
I'm like, who you singing about, girl?
Muchas gracias. Muchas gracias a todos ustedes. Oye, ¿están cansados ya? Ojalá que no. Si vienen a
Oh, this is a bop. Is this techno cumbia?
Oh, techno.
This to me feels like something that could have been on regular mainstream radio in the 90s.
Hey. Oh yeah. Call and response always does it.
Her bangs in this concert are truly their own character.
Truly, yes. Lay up, lay down. What they do.
Where they at?
It's so fun. Oh, okay. I like the shots where they pull out. Like, they're like in a half snow globe.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah. I think I had the shirt AB is wearing in the back. I think I had that in the 90s. That little circle zipper. I love how many opportunities they give in the music to feature the band.
Yes.
Because they're incredible musicians.
Hey.
Muévele, muévele y
What?
muévele y no le muevas tanto.
That was a composition.
Yes.
There's like so many pieces to it. And, like all the different dynamics that she got to do with her voice, and like, yeah, and the breaks for the band. There were so many pieces to it, and I felt like it wasn't following a formula that I'd heard before, or I really appreciated that.
And you get a mix of different styles of music, which I really love about almost everything she does, is that even like what we might call Tejano, it's not actually, that's just kind of a general broad.
Right.
Like there's so many different, her brother that was producing most of her music, I mean, he's weaving so many different styles
Right.
in one. So you might get disco and pop and Tejano, and you know, or you might have something that has a lot of influences from rancheras and things like that. It's so fun musically to listen to.
Right.
And Tejano in itself already is such a blend of.
Right, and then you add on top of that she did a crossover.
Right.
And so her discography feels kind of like a melting pot
Yeah.
that she just kind of holds together with herself and her band, and it's awesome.
And that's, again, a lot of the reason that I think that that her music has reached so many different types of people, is that it wasn't just isolated to, you know, the community that would listen to Tejano music, but it reached outside of that, which is, and it's fun to listen to. It's fun to listen to all those different influences.
The impression I got too from like doing the research and watching her growth was kind of like with everything, they were like, okay, what new group of people can we take this to? There didn't really seem to be pressure within the family to stick to the one thing. You know, maybe that came from her dad, because her dad was like, I made the mistake of trying to only do the one thing, and then we saw in the movie how that did not play out well for them. So he was like, you got to be able to do all kinds of different stuff. I love the conversation they had about, you know, you're Mexican American, so you have to be able to speak Spanish and English and do all of the things and work twice as hard. I see that as part of why she is so successful, because she was able to do what the other girls were doing at the time.
The work ethic,
Incredible.
the talent,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just gone too soon. Golly. But let's not dwell on that.
I love, J-Lo does this move really well in the movie.
Okay. Well, yeah, okay. I was thinking about all the isms of hers that she copies for the movie.
I mean, they really did. I think from what I understand, I watched there's a documentary that's attached to the Blu-ray version of the movie. And it looks like they were pretty much trying to do this concert shot for shot. Like, trying to do it exactly as she did it, gestures, dance moves, and that this was the one thing where J-Lo was really, really nervous, was this concert, because she was actually doing it for all of these people. And was having to do it. They did, and was having to do it exactly the way that she did it.
Okay, that's what I thought was happening, because I've seen J-Lo perform enough where I was like, that's not what she does when she's performing.
No.
So it was, that was Selena.
Most of the other performance scenes were a little more freeform in that movie, but this one was so hardcore, and it was in front of all of these people that they wanted to make sure there was some kind of structure to lean on.
Yeah.
But they use a lot, and they use this audio under her in the movie.
Yes. Except for like those first 3 words when they were writing "Como la Flor."
Yeah.
Those are only J-Lo vocals in the movie.
And J-Lo does an excellent job of lip syncing. I know that's a weird thing to say. Not everybody does it well, and she doesn't really watch. You can tell she really watched her facial expressions and how she sang. I just love that this song is just like about an old car.
What?
Literally
La
about
Carcacha, yeah.
literally about an old car. Like a junky ass car.
Yeah.
Yes. She really is just moving this entire concert.
Yeah.
There's not
Does not stop.
there's not really time where she talks to the audience much, except those little pieces in between. She's just going the whole time. Yes, yes, yes. Little twisty things, like one of her signature moves. This editing.
Yeah.
Woo! Yes. Oh. Woo!
Did she just
She
move
literally
the
just
camera
said
person?
old car. Yeah, she sure did.
She said, hey, I want to stand here. Fun. I
Yeah.
felt like I was at a car shop almost.
Yeah.
You know, like just
The
all this-
beeps,
yeah,
the-
yes, yeah,
yeah.
all the sounds that are happening. Again, it feels very spontaneous. I feel like her dancing was spontaneous, and then the band also got some opportunities to be spontaneous
Yeah.
in this as well. Just the drums.
Drums
At
are
that one
great
point,
in
I was
this.
just like, this is a different type of meter going on
Yeah.
here. Everything has been Spanish since the disco medley, and so I'm looking for Dreaming of You and I Could Fall in Love, because those are the two songs that, as much moving as she's been doing, I feel like those would be her breathers.
So I hate to disappoint you, but neither of those songs are on this concert because they had not been released yet. So that album didn't get released until after she died. And so
Whoa!
Yes.
Okay, that just clarified the timeline for me, because I was like, I
This
thought
is-
this concert happened a couple months before her death.
this is like 3 weeks.
Woo!
Yeah, this
That's
is like
crazy.
3 weeks before
And
she
that's
died.
the way they presented it in the movie too.
Yes.
This was her last thing that she did career-wise, really, before
Right.
she was murdered.
If I am correct, she did another concert after this that was like a small event, like it was for a private,
Okay.
like for, I think it was for a charity or for something like that. I can't
Right.
remember, somewhere in Texas.
Okay.
But this was her last like big.
So that
thing.
small private concert maybe was what the Dreaming of You sequence was in the movie.
I think the Dreaming of You sequence is just kind of a dream sequence.
Gotcha.
I think it's kind of meant to be like, this is what she saw for herself as she was recording this album, and this is what got interrupted.
And then the song
And I-
continues after she is killed.
Yeah.
And everyone's mourning her.
Yes.
I did not put that together.
And I
That
think-
song did not come out until after her death.
I think that's why when she's singing it in the movie, and then the white rose gets thrown on stage, and it throws her off. That's kind of meant to represent that like interruption in
Yeah.
what she was doing. So
Because wait. So that was that scene done that way because like you throw roses on the stage at the end of the song, you know, like when it's
Probably,
their final
yeah.
bow.
I mean,
so
like,
it's like,
that's-
ooh, bow happened too soon, and so she's like, wait, I'm not done with the song.
right.
Wait, okay, yikes!
And-
This is
and-
also helping me appreciate
And
the
that,
movie
my
a bit
friends, is where I stop the movie every time
more.
because I don't like to watch the end. 'Cause
You know,
it makes me sad.
You're probably not the only one.
I'm sure
Yeah.
I'm not, and I think they did a good job with it.
I thought it was tasteful.
It was tastefully done. It wasn't exploitative of the family. But I'm glad that we don't see anything. But I
Yeah.
think even the hospital, like watching the scenes in the ambulance and like the ring dropping
Where her
all
hand
those
dropped,
things.
yeah.
It's really sad. It's distressing.
And then the empty arena and the microphone
Yeah.
while her voice is playing.
And-
I was like,
And the people, all of those people who were in such deep mourning for her,
Yeah.
because she was such an integral part of their community, and they felt like they knew her, which is
yeah.
because she made people feel that way. You can tell, in her music, you can tell when she performs that she made people feel like they were friends, that they were family, and so that's it's sad to watch that.
Okay.
And to think that the movie was made. So the movie came out in '97,
Right.
That's 2 years after she died. So the movie was getting made when her death was still very, very fresh.
Right.
They kind of made it as a preemptive strike because all these people were already starting to make like unauthorized documentaries and like all these things about her, and her family wanted to take control of her legacy.
Then I am glad that I asked that question of like what's in the set list, because no, I think I would have gotten to the end and been like
why
more
isn't this
frustrated
there?
than so
Yeah, I mean that's what's so crazy is that album sold like crazy, but she had already died. It probably would have sold well anyway. It also, we think, I was talking about we were talking about this the other night, about people who died young or on kind of a precipice in their career, and how a lot of that cements their status as iconic in time.
Right.
And I think she would have gone on to be that anyway. She already was. But I think that's part of the reason that she has such a legacy, is because she died young and she did quite a lot in her short time.
Right.
So that album exploded.
That's crazy.
So.
All right then. I think let's move on with the rest of the concert. Lift us back up, Selena.
Yes, girl. There is like not an empty seat.
¿Están disfrutando, sí o no? Muy bien, gracias. Otra canción.
I
Para todas las
love
parejas.
this
La canción
song.
No Me Queda
The
Más.
video for this song is really great. She wears so many iconic outfits in it.
No me queda más
Oh, I've heard this one.
que perderme en un abismo de tristeza y lágrimas. No me queda más. Es el más dulce recuerdo de mi vida.
That's such a beautiful line. The sweetest memory of my life. The song is so sad.
No me importa, porque esto sí fue amor. Por mi parte, lo más lindo, el más grande amor. Y aunque siempre lo renuncias para mí, fue lo más bello.
This is the most still she's been the whole concert.
Yeah. Ricky Vela, who is in her band, he was in love with her sister, with Suzette,
Oh.
and he wrote this song because she was getting married to somebody else.
Oh.
Or something like that. I might have gotten the details wrong, but it's...
I love that.
I know, it's so beautiful.
I loved her voice on it too.
Mm-hmm.
It was heartbreaking.
Yeah.
In some places.
And that's part of where like that rasp comes in, and it really lends an emotional element to, and she can control it.
This song, and then there's another song that's very different emotion called Rata de dos patas, which is two-legged rat. It's like a song insulting somebody. But some of the vowel blends and the way that they just lean into those, their voice almost breaks, and then immediately changes the tone, and just like I don't know. I don't think I'm technically savvy enough to describe
I
what's
don't think
going
either
on.
of us are.
But there's a technique on this
Yes.
song and that genre that I particularly like, that I just, God, I got lost. Like, you know, you could pay attention to what she was saying, but I was just like, whoa, the skill, let alone the words.
And the thing is that I think the emotion is enough. Like, she's giving you enough that even if you didn't know, what Spanish is already such a beautiful language. Like, I wish I understood more of it. I wish I could speak it.
I would not mind if we had a Spanish Revolution and it became the most spoken language in the country.
Because it's such a gorgeous language, and I feel like has so much expressiveness in that language. And so hearing a song like this, it has so much power and so much emotion in it, in that language, is so powerful. I'm obsessed.
God. Oh
No me queda más.
No me queda más. Oh, right. Play on.
It's about to get lit again.
Okay. Yeah, please pick my heart up off the ground. Bidi Bidi Bom Bom! Bidi Bidi Bom Bom! Yes! How did I forget about this one? Of course it had to be in there.
Oh, her smile is just so.
She waving at people. This is an irresistible song.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
like, how can you not be happy
Right.
listening to this?
What she's doing with this performance is like exactly what I would picture in my head listening to it.
Yes, exactly. This is also one. This and Como la Flor were two of like the most famous. So like again, like if you were somebody who did not grow up listening to her, like because you were in a Spanish-speaking household,
You
like
still probably
you heard these. Like we heard these when we were kids, you know.
That's an essential Selena thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Wow.
We love Bidi Bidi Bom Bom.
We love Bidi Bidi Bom Bom. So iconic. I think, yeah, you like you said iconic a lot, but like I think it's totally deserved.
I agree.
Absolutely deserved.
She is,
She's
and
iconic.
things that she does, like iconic.
The not only she has both cultural impact and cultural representation that
Yes,
she brings. Like
yeah.
when I see in her so many of like my friends who are Latinas, and like just like in the smile, the hairstyle, the lipstick, you know, makeup choices and everything. And then there are also a lot of the Latina women in popular culture who have referenced her or done. Selena Gomez has a cover of Bidi Bidi Bom Bom.
Right. Well, Selena Gomez is named after Selena. Because Selena Gomez is also from Texas.
Right.
So-
And Demi Lovato is also from Texas. And I think they've both mentioned that they were influenced by her. But yeah, and even women who aren't Latina but are from Texas, she's had an influence on them.
Right.
Like Beyonce.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I think iconic is absolutely the word. Like people throw around the word iconic for a singer who's been around for like 2 or 3 years just because they have a really good outfit and a good performance at the Grammys, but this is actually deserved.
And it stood the test of time. I
Right.
mean, at this point, this concert has been around for almost 30 years. So
Is this 93?
this is 95.
95.
So
Okay.
we're just at like 26 years. Little girls are still dressing up as Selena and
Rappers
listening
are
to her
still
music
referencing they want a woman with an ass like Selena. Like they still say that.
I like Latinas, ones who look like Selena.
Like Selena, ass shaped like Selena.
Cause I got that ass like Selena. From the trap, Selena. Dame más gasolina.
Selena, in a lot of ways, and obviously people before her, but in a lot of ways, she kind of paved the road for some of these women who came after her, like J-Lo, like Shakira, to be the stars that they are.
As far as women go, I think she was the first big crossover since Gloria Estefan, right?
Yes.
And
I would say so.
Yeah.
That's a non-expert speaking. I think so.
But I think that something that separated her from Gloria was that Gloria came over with her husband Emilio, who was almost as much a part of her public image at the time, you know? Whereas Selena had her husband Chris, but people were coming to see. I don't know. I'm not going to speak on stuff that I don't quite know.
But I would say that's true because part of, you know, one of the big things that we see both in the movie and in the series is that that they had asked her to step out of Los Dinos, basically, that like Los Dinos wasn't gonna be her
Right.
that it was that they were gonna be her band, but we were gonna be known as Selena. Like it wasn't gonna be Selena y Los Dinos. It was gonna be Selena. So
That's
I mean,
fair, yeah.
it is her fame in that community kind of superseded
Right.
her role in that band, and so then it kind of became. And they're also talented. I mean, it's really fun to watch them as a group and know that like.
Yeah.
That's a lot of them are family. A lot of them have traveled and toured together for years, kind of making this. So it's kind of the perfect storm. But I agree, and you do see some Gloria Estefan influences in Selena also, and I it's just fascinating. I love the way that musical influences work.
Yeah.
And she's a really fun one to watch because of it. So.
Love it. Okay, we've only got a few numbers left in this.
All right, this is an excellent transition. So I'm gonna go back
Okay.
just a couple seconds. Again, one of my favorite songs.
Si dispuesta a tus pies y tan simplemente sin mi ahora si una vez dije que te amaba, ay me arrepiento. Si una vez dije que te amaba, no sé lo que pensé, estaba loca mía. Sé que un día
I love I love the amount of things that can be done on the synthesizer.
Right, okay.
Like,
That's what I'm thinking. Like, there's a different sound every time that she pauses in between lines. It's like,
Yeah.
you know?
This is when she's an excellent voice on it. She sounds incredible.
ese error.
The drama.
She has them in the palm of her hand.
Right.
Ese error. Ese error es cosa de ayer.
I am not worthy.
They're not well.
I can't. Oh my god.
What do you think? What do you think?
I'm just so... How is it that like every song she does instantly becomes like, this is my new favorite Selena.
Yes.
Or like I'm adding this to my playlist or whatever. You know, like it's just all good material.
It's all good. It's like all of it's excellent. Yeah.
I'm kind of speechless with just like how much control she had with that at the end.
Yes. I think that's what's so fun about this concert is that the places where they've chosen to kind of expand the songs or take a different instrumental approach or whatever, they've chosen them very carefully, and every time you can tell the people in this audience are just in it to win it. They are right there with her, and like we're watching it right there with her. It's like I can't even speak. I'm just gonna like stare at the screen.
Okay, let's keep going.
All right.
Muchas gracias. La canción es una vez del nuevo disco Rodeo. Gracias.
What? She said, "Woo, let's go."
This is the bop of all bops.
Is this El Chico del Apartamento? I love El Chico del Apartamento.
This is also a hot faster than it was recorded. Like, you can tell. At some point, I'm like, oh.
Oh, I'm feeling it. Yeah.
You'll really feel it when we get to the chorus.
I'm sorry, he's so attractive. He's my second favorite part of the show.
Flawless key change.
De veras que sentí mi corazón quebrándose. Cuando de repente me preguntó, ¿buscabas a mi hermano?
Two key changes.
Oh my god.
And it just like feels like it keeps getting faster.
It does.
They're laughing. They know. They know it's like. She's like, what?
It's just so fun.
It's so
El chico
fun.
del apartamento 512.
Yeah, so do you know what's happening in the song?
There's a neighbor that she's got a crush on?
Yeah. So there's
Yeah.
like a guy in her apartment complex
Yeah.
that or in the building or whatever, that she's in love with.
Uh-huh.
And she dreams about him day and night. She writes him letters and she doesn't send them. There's all these other guys in her apartment that are interested in her, and she's like, no, dude, you're too old. You're smelly. Like, I don't want to hang out with you.
Okay, I saw that.
Yeah.
The
Like-
smelly. I saw that
Like,
one.
I don't want to hang out with you guys.
Uh-huh.
I want to hang out with this guy. And so she finally like works up the nerve to go say, like, tell this guy that she loves him. And when they open the door, a woman's standing there. And
that's where she goes, ¿Buscabas a mi hermano?
She says, like, yes, like, are you looking for my brother? And so she gets disappointed because she thinks, like, oh, he's got another girl in the apartment.
Oh,
But it's the guy's
it's his
sister. Yeah. It's just so cute.
It's so cute.
I know, it's just so fun. Like it's my energy. It's such a bop all the time, always. Fun fact: that was one of my Spotify most played songs of 2020. So
honestly, I need a new song to get me out of bed every morning, and that will
might be
totally
it.
do it.
I made like a summer playlist last year of a bunch of different genres, but basically all bops, like stuff that because it was 2020 and we all needed some bops.
Amen.
So I made this playlist of all bops, and I put this song and Bidi Bidi Bom Bom both on it, and so they would cycle through all the time. And I played this just always. So I was like, this makes me happy. I need it.
It's fun, and it's fun to have a song with like a story to
Yes,
it. You know,
yeah.
there's a beginning, middle, and end for
Yes.
it. I really enjoyed that.
It's super fun.
That's great. Okay, we got a couple more songs left.
Oh, yes. So many twirls. The background singers in their leather. I cannot. This like leather vest with these pockets. It looks like a leather fishing vest.
Yes,
But
that's
like,
exactly.
But
what it
you
looks
know
like.
Selena designed these.
Oh, she did.
Yeah, I mean she
Did she
like
design all her outfits?
Yeah.
I did not know
Oh
that.
yeah. So she designed this that she's wearing. Like she was that was kind of her thing. So when they opened the boutiques, the Selena boutiques, so that was kind of the goal, is that eventually like, she was working with a designer to like create these clothes. I think the goal was eventually that she would be the sole designer of the stuff that was getting turned out. So, so
but
she,
I knew her mom designed the bustier for that first one that her dad was upset about.
Yeah, well, technically, I think she did. Like, I think it was like her idea to do all of the things that like her mom would help her with stuff. But yeah, so like all the stuff she wore, like she would make it, and eventually I think got to the point where like she would design stuff and it would be made for her, but she would design the stuff and like coordinate the outfits for all of her background singers for the band. So like, do you remember in the movie, there's very brief in the Bidi Bidi Bom Bom scene where at one point they're wearing cow print?
Yes.
Like, that's that's real. That happened. All of the band like had to wear
Yeah.
that stuff.
Sono tu orgullo y a ver. Y a
Her smile is just so beautiful.
Uh-huh. This
Yeah.
is a solid playlist.
It is. It's
This
a
really
very good set list.
Did I say playlist? I meant set list. Oh dear.
Oh, I also was not trying to correct you.
Any thoughts before the last song? No? Yeah. Cool. Let's just go into it.
Esta canción un éxito, el primer éxito para nosotros. Aquí en los Estados
Yeah.
Unidos, igual como en México. Como la
Oh.
en me diste tú. Yo sé perder. Pero ay, cómo me duele.
What an intro.
Todo mundo, como la flor, con tanto amor, me diste tú, se marchito, me marchó y yo sobreviví. Ay, cómo me duele. Ay, cómo me duele. Queremos darle muchísimas gracias a todos ustedes por hacer esta noche posible. Quebramos el récord hoy esta noche. ¡Dan un fuerte aplauso!
Big applause. Big round of applause.
Mil abrazos y mil besotes a cada uno de ustedes. Cuídense muchísimo y nos vemos muy pronto. Hasta luego. Chao. Buenas noches. Gracias.
Oh. It's the hasta luego for me.
Yeah.
Muchas gracias. Muchas gracias, Houston, Texas. Gracias. Gracias.
Yeah, she's like, get that girl a towel.
Woo! So they put all of this footage together after her death?
I
Or-
guess,
okay.
yeah.
That would be very
It-
quick to put this together in 3 weeks or less.
Yeah,
than 3
I
weeks.
assume that they had always because they had so many camera operators. I assume they had always meant
It's a
for this
plan.
to be.
Yeah.
It seemed like she was always very accessible, from what I can gather in terms of the kinds of concerts she would do. I mean, there were concerts like this, but then there were concerts at like the Poteet Strawberry Festival and in like small venues and places where like
There wasn't
there was
anything
kind of
that
a
she was too
mix
good to
of
perform
that's
at.
what it that's
Yeah.
what it seems like. You know, I obviously wasn't there, but it does. There's a lot of footage of her performing. There is so much footage of her performing. It's kind of surprising
Yeah.
the amount.
I saw the accessibility thing. They in the scene in the movie that they incorporated where like kids jumped up on stage and security was gonna pull them off, and she said, no, let them dance with me. And then more kids went up there.
Mm-hmm. She was already, before she died, she was already very, very famous in that community and in Texas, right? She already, like, her death didn't make her famous. It made her more famous, but she was already a big deal, and so even
she had a Grammy. She had Grammys before she died.
Yes, she did.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. I mean, I don't know. It feels like something that probably would have happened. Mm-hmm. So something that I was thinking about.
I think that's true. That everything in the movie feels like if that didn't happen, it could have happened because like this communicated this aspect of her character.
I can't remember if it's in the documentary on the DVD. Someone said like, oh, did you actually, someone asked her sister, did that scene with the washing machine, like did that actually happen? Mm-hmm. And she said, not exactly like that, but we would go and sit down by the water as a family and hang out and do that kind of thing. So while that specific thing didn't happen, it's certainly something that like could have happened in our family. So, and I think something I was thinking about when we were watching Como la Flor is we talked about her being like at home on stage, but something that I think impresses me even more is that she performs without ego. There's not, it all feels very like this is what I have and this is what I'm gonna give you. And I hope that this is, I hope it's great.
There's something very humble about it. I felt the whole time that she was like presenting a gift to the audience, and she was like, I hope you like this. Yeah. And we're here like, how could we not like this? I don't know if there was ever a moment where she was like, y'all know this one, or
right,
like, it was very much, let me teach you about this song. Let me tell you about the story behind this,
It feels very much like it's for her fans and not for her. Like that she knows that like this is something she's giving to people, and it's not what I perceive is very much that it's not like I'm singing this way and it's about me. And we all know there are so many performers like that. And this, it just feels very, it feels very much like this is the Selena we would get if we were outside at a festival or in someone's backyard. It's a generosity of spirit.
Yes.
That you feel it through in our case, through the camera, but I think probably in the live audience's case. Yeah. Through that distance that separated them.
Absolutely. She's just like as wholesome and likable as a Disney princess. She's amazing. That was the last concert. I've seen it now. Oh my gosh. Wow. Yay! We did it! I'm in love. Yeah. She's fabulous. Not overhyped at all. Like deserving of all the praise. She's was an incredible entertainer. God, I'm upset that she has been gone from this life for my whole life. Yeah. Unbelievable. I'm upset. Dang. I might go and watch the TV series now. Yeah. I want to learn all the things, all the legends, the rumors and stuff.
Here's my favorite Texas thing that happens in the series. Have you in your life ever been to a Luby's? Or have you heard of Luby's?
Yes, I know.
So Luby's is a cafeteria style restaurant that's based in Texas, and in the series when they're kind of performing in public, Selena y los Dinos, as the family, they're kind of performing in public for the first time, and they've agreed to bring their own lights to a performance because it's outdoors. I think it's at a wedding or something like that.
Oh, okay.
And
a wedding at Luby's?
No, it wasn't. The wedding was not at Luby's. They'll get that Luann platter. They decide they're gonna make their own lights because they don't have money to buy a bunch of lights. Yeah. So they decide they're gonna make their own lights. So they go to the back of a Luby's, grab a bunch of empty peach cans and turn them into lights, and it's the fact that they're at a Luby's, I was like, that's Texas.
Yeah.
You and I both know. Living in Texas is especially during these times, is a lot.
It's a ride.
It's a ride.
It's a predictable ride, but it's still taking you on some turns.
and there are a lot of, I grew up here. I love this state. I love being from here, but there are a lot of things about the state that I am not necessarily proud of.
Right.
But I love that we have her.
Yes.
That she's ours.
Right.
And she is so much, I said this earlier, the part of the fabric of our state.
We get really excited about our Texas icons, because we
have a lot too.
We do. We do have a lot. We have Beyonce.
We have the Chicks.
We have Megan Thee Stallion.
We have Patrick Swayze is from Texas.
Wait. Oh. You said Patrick Swayze, and I thought Patrick Stewart, because I was
Patrick Stewart is not from Texas.
That does not make sense, no. But wow, Patrick Swayze! We get really excited about the things that our state does well.
Yes.
Oh, yes. Wow! Selena actually, okay, so I was not born in Texas. I came here from California. When I moved to Texas, probably up until college, I would not identify as a Texan. I resisted it for so long. Now I do. Lived here for most of my life.
Yeah.
But I feel that if I had been shown Selena, a Texas icon at an earlier age probably, and if her being from Texas had been celebrated as much as I think it is now, then I think that would have made the transition a little bit smoother for me.
Right.
But who knows? She now helps me be very proud to be from Texas. So that's fabulous. Wow. Selena.
Anything for Selena's.
I think that was a great time. Thank you, Katie, so much
Thank you for having me.
doing this with me. This is a new thing. It's always been kind of like me and the content I'm reacting to. You're my first guest. Really.
I invited myself.
And I readily accepted your invitation.
Any chance to talk about Selena. I love her.
Thank you so much for being on the video with me. I have no idea when I will put this out. It may take me a month to edit through all of this footage. But it's going to be a fun one. I'm so happy that we got to do this.
Apologies for any of my Spanish pronunciation.
They're generally really nice. Like, I know that I've mispronounced stuff on here, and they go, "Your Spanish is so good," and I'm like, "You're so sweet." Thank y'all so much for watching this video. Let me know what you thought in the comments section below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Send me more stuff to react to. Like, is there other Selena material that people love as much as the Astrodome performance? Maybe we'll find out. Let me know in the comments. But thanks again, and everyone say bye, Katie.
Bye.
And I will see y'all again very, very soon. Bye.